Child, don't be afraid to shoot. Don't be afraid to take a penalty kick. It's not from these details that a player is judged. Good morning, friends of the social community, and welcome back to my channel. Today, a very related topic that I feel is very much mine, a very personal topic. We are not actually talking about soccer. We are talking about how to communicate on the field with teammates. This obviously applies to soccer. I will use soccer as an example because I play soccer, but it applies to all sports and, in my opinion, also to some work teams, so it can also apply to colleagues. So today, a very interesting topic. I immediately admit my fault. It is a defect I have, always had. It is a problem I have carried with me forever. Now, with age, I am improving it. Today, much better compared to the past. Every now and then, I fall into this problem, this defect, the same one, because there is one thing that drives me crazy: ignorance. Ignorance in playing. In my case, in soccer, completely drives me crazy. I just can't stand it. I can understand that someone makes mistakes because maybe they are not skilled. Mistakes can happen, right? Everyone makes mistakes. But ignorance drives me crazy. And so I fall into these mistakes. What is the main mistake? So when playing in a team with teammates, not everything depends on you, but it depends on the team, right? It can happen that you talk. Well, excuse me for pretending to work in the meantime. It can happen that you talk incorrectly to your teammates because on the field it's useless to explain long and complicated concepts that they wouldn't understand even off the field. I mean, it's useless for you to explain to a teammate the movement they need to make or certain things they need to do in detail. They won't understand it off the field. Do you want to explain it to them on the field while playing? And above all, one completely useless thing is to start a discussion on the field. You tell him one thing, he says another. You tell him something else again. It is absolutely useless. It serves no purpose, actually. It is ethereal, very much ethereal, in terms of results and performance. So, how is it better to talk on the field? You should always speak in a positive and constructive manner. I'll give you an example. If the striker misses the goal, I'm giving football examples, but as I said, it applies to everyone. If the striker misses a goal, it is useless to tell him you have to score. Score. Damn, score. You have to score. He knows. Doesn't he know? He knows. He has to score. It's not that he doesn't know. He knows perfectly well that he has to score. So tell him a phrase like this, which has often happened to me. It doesn't help at all. Not at all. In fact, it might even irritate him. No, but I tell him, because he is too superficial. He hasn't understood the importance. He needs to be more focused. He needs to concentrate more. True, true. But that phrase doesn't help him anyway. It doesn't help him. That phrase doesn't help him. It only puts him in difficulty and makes him nervous. There are players who have the personality, the strength to score and silence you. Okay, but it doesn't help anyway. He knows he made a mistake. He would score anyway. It's not that your phrase made him score. So what would be the right phrase to say? Striker, come on, you'll score next. You are too important for us, striker. Come on, you can help us win. This is the right phrase. It has the same effect. In fact, the first one has no effect. It has a negative effect. The second phrase has a positive effect. It may seem silly, but speaking well on the field creates a different team. And therefore, makes you perform differently. Even at the communication level, if you speak like this, I know it's not easy. I reiterate, I have this flaw. I'm not capable. I'm trying to do it, but I'm not capable. I lose my mind because then you play, lose your head, and can't manage. But if a person knows it, is aware, why am I making this video? To provide a point of reflection, right? It applies to the colleague just as it applies to your teammate. If you know it beforehand and focus earlier and say, I need to speak this way because it's more useful, you understand that it's more useful, right? It's obvious. Everyone understands it. So if you commit, you can be more helpful by speaking this way. And it applies to many things. I'm not saying you shouldn't call them man, that you shouldn't tell them things specifically about the field, but you should say everything in a constructive manner. In a constructive manner. Come on, let's go. Louder, louder, come on, we will win, come on. And above all, the most important thing of all, you must be the first example. You must be the first example. You have to be the first. You can't tell someone else, come on, go, strong, tough, come on, we will win. Then the opponent arrives and you are a mozzarella. You have to be the first, right? You have to set the example. You need to make yourself heard. The example is always what works best of all. Speaking, if you speak positively, small phrases, expressed differently, make all the difference in the world in helping your teammate perform. Once there was a teammate of mine, right, who came to me and told me during the game, if you can't keep up with him, I'll take over, let's switch, I'll take your role, you take mine. Obviously, I, who have broad shoulders, etc., had to respond. You can't even stand up. What do you want to mark? You can't even walk. But I didn't respond to him. Obviously. I didn't respond to him even then. When your teammate makes a mistake, if you respond to him poorly, you worsen the situation. If you try to respond well, what did I tell him? Look, by doing this, you're not helping yourself either. If you say a phrase like that to me, what should I respond? I have to respond poorly. So we're not helping each other. Let's help each other. We're on the field. We're together. We want to win. Let's help each other. I don't know how I managed to stay calm on that occasion. I usually am not. But on that occasion, I was particularly calm. And so I was able to make myself understood. I was able to resolve it. And then we won that match. So, first thing, you have to speak well. Speak. Second thing, if your teammate makes a mistake, try to get him back on track. Then, after the match, off the field, you can talk differently. It depends on the circumstances. It depends on the discussion. You can also explain broader concepts, divisions of play. You see it one way, he sees it another. This applies to both work and everything. Maybe we'll make another video there, but during the performance, we need to help each other, guys. We need to help each other because otherwise, we won't succeed. Otherwise, we won't achieve results. Another fundamental thing that a person must understand, primarily the coach, and secondly, every team member, is that when playing in a team and there is a coach, the coach decides right or wrong, you do what the coach decides. If the coach says to do something, you do that thing. Because if everyone wants to do their own thing, no, but I think it's better to do something else. It's a jungle, and you don't perform. Even in making mistakes, you have to do what the coach said, because by making mistakes, you might then understand and fix things. But if everyone does their own thing, nothing ever gets resolved. So, if you are a coach, make the decisions. People must listen to you, respect you, and you must decide. Don't delegate. You must decide. Be the coach. You must decide. If you are a player, is there a coach who decides? Listen to what the coach says. Then, if you have things to say, not during the game, when the play is stopped, you can say, in my opinion, there are two men there. It would be better to do this. You explain your thoughts calmly, and the coach will process and decide. You can tell him your opinion, but the coach decides. He can agree with you, he can disagree. You can point out something he may not have seen, and he understands that he missed it. He can develop another thought. But during the game, no, there should be no discussions. There must not be discussions. During the game, you do what the coach says, and that's it. There are no discussions. There is no debating. Another thing, if the coach makes choices, he must make choices because there are no friends on the field. I mean, on the field, when the coach decides there is no such thing as a friend, no, just because he is my friend, I will let him play more. No, because he is my friend, I have to understand there are no friendships. Yesterday, there were 4 minutes left. We were losing. We were losing heavily yesterday. We lost 6-0. In the last 2 goals, the central midfielder went to play as a forward. Because he wanted to score, he wanted to recover the game. We're 4-0, 5-0. Where are you going? There are 2 minutes left. What were you supposed to do? 6 goals. I took him out. There are 2 minutes left. I took him out. I took him out again. I took him out again. I put in a defender. This is to make you understand what? That you have to make choices for the good of the team, popular or unpopular, the strongest in the team, and in a tough moment, you take him out. You take him out. Is he having a tough moment? You take him out. You take him out. You take him out. You shouldn't be friends. On the field, there are no friendships. You have to do what's best for the team. And on the other side, the player should not be touchy. The coach decides for the good of the team, not for friendship. And he shouldn't decide based on friendships, because if he decides based on friendships, then the team will notice. And that is a coach who will not have a future. If you decide based on friendships, that is, if you make the choice to take someone out, not for the team, but because that other person is your friend and you want to let him in, then the team knows, even those who play know. There are no friendships on the field, you know. On the field, you have to do what's best for the team. There are no selfishness. There are no personal interests. On the field, you do what's best for the team. I hope I have been helpful to you. Subscribe to the channel. Give it a like. If you want to follow my other channels, you can find them down below. For those who follow me in Italian, as always, from 3 to 4 we do the live and have a chat together. Is that okay? Bye, beautiful people.